Good morning, happy Monday, everybody. I know I'm crooked here. That's the only way to get the mount to stay. I'm going to talk about two P's that I think really counterbalance everything when you're really working through anything, but in particular, dadding, at any various stage of your kid or kids' lives, you're going to have a lot of frustrations. Trust me, I'm there right now. I've been there in infancy, in toddlerhood, and I'm sure it's gonna persist, in the tweens and the teens and the adult children and everything when I'm older and when they're older, because it's the same conversation I have with fathers that have been there before, and it's, reflecting back, it's probably the same thing that my parents had with me. There are always challenges. Now, when you're in the middle of it, you might be thinking that, shit, this is hard. Just got to get through this and then I'll be happier. I just got to make X amount of money and then I'll be happier, and then I'll just, cut back on work. I have to meet this goal to be happy. And that's not really the case at all. You should look back, and I know there are a lot of guys that talk about this. Hormozy talks about this. Ed Milet was talking about it this morning. Every guru mentor talks about this for a good reason. You look back at things with nostalgia and look back at how hard things were back when you were in college studying super hard, or I look back at even like the first few months of my kids' births and how precious they were and how difficult it was. It was a lot of no sleep, and that was crazy, but I miss my kids at that age. I love them now, but I miss that stage of their lives too. And so realize this, you're gonna get where you want to go. So try to enjoy where you are now, and just imagine that you're already there. Imagine that you're already well past that stage, and you would give anything to be back where you are right now. Think about that the next time you feel like you're in a pickle and you're really struggling and you're frustrated, whether it's with work or your kids or your partner or your friends, whatever it is. Just realize that you don't need to hit a certain goal to be happy. That doesn't mean you stop working towards your goals. And that brings me to the second P, which is personal integrity. To make sure that you get to where you want to go, it's not about taking big swings. It's about building those habit stacking, and delivering consistently. It doesn't take much. I mean, it's kind of a hard move because we're habitually hardwired to not do the things that make sense in this day and age, but it really isn't hard to go to bed before 11. You just have to make that decision. Sleeping is one of those things where you get into a ritual, you go through the steps, and then you go to bed. And yeah, you might have a lot of things to do. I know I do. I know I fight this all the time, but if you go to bed earlier, then you could get up earlier and get all the same shit done, but feel better about it. It doesn't take much to replace one non-water beverage with water. Whether that is caffeine related, alcohol related, or sugar related, you could replace one with water. It doesn't take much to cut back on one thing that you're eating. Now, it helps to have a structural goal, but if you're lost and have no idea, follow the personal integrity route and just be consistent. Because it might not seem like much, but this one small thing that you do, it will add up over time. And it's not like the little steps, that little drink of water that you took is going to stack up to, losing 30 pounds in a year or anything like that. That's not how math works. But what it does is it empowers you to take bigger swings. But you have to start off small, because you don't have the confidence yet to take a bigger swing and sustain it. You have to do the small things to refortify your mind so that it thinks and knows that it is disciplined to follow through on another step. So, to sum it up, perspective. Be happy with where you are right now. You might not always be happy, and that's okay. You don't always have to be happy, but know that you don't need blank to be happy. You need to be happy to be happy. And it's not going to be all the time, and that's okay. And number 2, personal integrity. Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, when nobody else is watching you. That is the contract that you write with yourself, that you write to yourself. And when you fulfill it, you are giving yourself that good credit, that good faith. And when you fail to fulfill it, you are giving yourself bad credit, and you're making yourself feel bad, whether you know it or not. So follow through. Make those contracts achievable, by the way. Otherwise, it's going to feel like shit all the time, which is why I say start small. So, perspective and personal integrity.